Hi everyone, I thought I'd do another programming video. If you remember where we got to last time, we were doing some work on scripts and we were looking at various different ways of deleting orders. And I think we probably explored that as much as it's possible to do. We ended up with a useful script which you could drop in and delete orders either across the chart that you dropped it in or optionally across all charts. So that's probably the completed order deletion script. And start to move on to something else. So what we're going to look at now is amending orders. And I use these scripts all the time for adding stop losses and take profits to my orders. And so I'm going to show you how to do this. So I'm going to start off with our my first script code. And we're going to cannibalize it to make our new script. So I'm going to do File, Save As. I'm going to call it my second script. No doubt, once you actually have adjusted these things for your own use, you'll give them sensible names, but just for now. Okay, so let's just start from the top and get rid of the bits we don't need. Okay, so this input, here we had an input which was a true-false thing for deciding whether we're going to delete all charts or not. We obviously don't need that anymore. What we do need is the stop loss value that we want to add to our order. Okay, so that's what we're going to do today, is add a stop loss to our order. And right, we're going to specify them in points or pipettes. Okay, so in MetaTrader there's a concept called a point, which is the minimum fluctuation. It's the same as a pipette for a currency pair, unless you've only got a four-figure broker, in which case a point is actually the same as a pip. But so you need to be aware of what you're specifying, but this is specified in points, which is the minimum fluctuation. Okay, so for my broker, which is a five-digit broker, 200 is 200 pipettes, so it's 20 pips. Okay, so now I'm just going to go down through the code. We still need the number of orders. Now I'm going to show you a little shortcut here. What we did here, we defined a variable which is number of orders, and then in this line here, we stored the number of orders from that function. You can actually do the two things in one go, so you can just write it like this. It's a nice little shortcut, makes the code a bit easier to read and shorter. So it's worth knowing. We don't need that alert anymore. Now, similarly, there's another shortcut here. We define here this order index, which is the loop variable that we use when we're looping over all these values here. You can again define and use it at the same time, so you can put the int in there, so it saves having that line there. Okay, so we've just shortened the code a bit, and actually it makes it a bit more readable. So we're going to loop over all the variables. We still need to select an order one at a time, and we need to check that the symbol of the order matches the symbol of the chart, but we don't have this delete all charts thing anymore. Okay, and we don't need these brackets here because there's now only one thing there, so you can write it like that. Okay, so just check I haven't made any mistakes so far. So far, so good. Right. Now, all this bit in here, we were deleting orders. We're going to change all that and have instead stuff for amending the order, in this case, amending the stop loss. Okay. Now, if you think about it, if you want to amend a stop loss, you do need to know whether it's a long order or position or a short order or position. Okay. Now you remember down here we had a function which is pending order. Let's change this to is long order. Okay, so we're going to give it the type, which I'll show you how to do in a moment. So if it's long, it's going to be a buy limit or a buy stop, or it's going to be an OP buy, which means an actual long position. Okay, so that code now says this function now tells me if it's a long order. Okay, just check once again, no errors. It's always worth compiling as you go along, so you know where you've gone wrong. I mean, it tells you where you've gone wrong anyway, but just keeps things neat and tidy. So what I'm going to say now is if it's a long order, is long order. So I'm going to use my new function. Now you see, you need to give it the type. Now if you remember, when you do order select, it fills in a whole bunch of things of these order functions. So order type gives me the order type. Right, so if it's a long order, I'm going to do some stuff for the long order. Else, if it's not long order, it's going to be a short order. So I'll do stuff for so this is the process process long order, and this is going to be the process short order. Okay, so now, so far so good. Again, just check we're okay. Yep. Let's do the actual modifying of the order. And as you might guess, the function is called order modify. Okay, so now when I start typing the function, you see this handy little yellow box comes up, which tells me all the different parameters that I need to fill in. So it saves me looking it up. The first thing we need is a ticket, and that's one of these order functions again. It's order ticket. Second thing is the price. Now for an order modify, this is the entry price. Okay. Now we're not actually changing that, so we'll use the same one as before, and it's order open price is the function which returns that value. The stop loss is the bit we're changing. Okay. So what we want to do is set the stop loss to 20 pips below the entry price for this long order. So this is the entry price, and I'm going to take away 20 pips or whatever this input value is. Okay. Now the thing is, order open price is expressed as a price. So for the pound, it might be 120. I don't know where the pound is at the moment. 125.047 or something. Whereas the stop loss says 200, right? So we need to convert the stop loss into price. Now there's a handy little function called point, which returns the size of the minimum fluctuation for that particular contract. Okay, so it will be for a 5-digit broker, point will return 0.00001. Okay, so this combination here will actually give me the correct price. So this will be 20 pips below the entry price. Okay, let's carry on with the rest of the parameters. The take profit, and I'm not amending the take profit here, so I'm going to put the same one as before. And the expiration, I'm not amending that either, so I'll put that same as before. Now you see here at the end it says color, arrow color equals color none, because there's an equals sign there. What that means is there's a default parameter. If you don't specify anything, it'll use that default, and since I'm not interested in changing the color or putting arrows or anything, I'm just going to ignore that. Okay, I'll just close off my function and put my semicolon. Now just check I've got all that right. Right, now you see this message here. A return value of order modify should be checked. Basically, order modify, if you do an F1 on that, returns true if it worked or false if it didn't. Okay, and if it didn't, then there's this function get last error, which tells you what went wrong. Okay, so if this didn't work, so it's going to return false. So that exclamation mark, if you remember, means not. If it's not if it's not true, then I'm going to do this next bit. Okay, so basically, if order failed, then I'm going to send an alert, which is error modifying last long order or trade. And I'm then going to put the error code, get last error. Okay, so what that does says I'll try to modify this order. If it doesn't work, that's what that exclamation mark means, then I'm going to put an alert telling me it didn't work and give me the error code. Check that's all correct, and it's all fine. So now, of course, we need to repeat this for the short order, so let's just copy that. And obviously for a short order, the stop loss must be above the entry price. So put a plus there, but otherwise it's all going to be the same. And I'm going to say, just change my alert in case it doesn't work. So there we go. That is our code. Let's check whether it works. Okay, so here it's my demo account. Is euro dollar, and there's my second script. I'll just put in a limit order. So there it is, and you see there's no stop loss and no take profit. I'm then going to drop my script in. I'm going to leave that value at 20 pips, say OK, and lo and behold, my stop loss has gone in, so it's amended my stop loss. Now say I actually want to tighten this up and only have it 10 pips away. I just put 100, remember it's in pipettes, and my stop loss moves. Right, now let's check that it works for an actual position. So let's just buy one of these. So there's our position, so you bought a position, and now we need to put stop loss in, and there it goes. So there's our stop loss. Okay, so it's very handy for putting a stop loss in really quickly. If I'm doing my scalping, I can just drop the script in, and I've immediately got stop loss. So it's a very fast way of adding stops in whatever distance apart you want. So there you go. So excuse all these noises. Actually, I'm not sure you can hear them on the recording, but I have various sounds which tell me when I've executed trades and things like that. So, but I don't think they come through on the recording. So there we go. That's I hope makes sense to you. And I'm going to give you a bit of homework. I want you to write the equivalent function, but instead of amending the stop loss, I want you to amend the take profit. Okay. Or you could write one that does both, that sets the stop loss and the take profit. Okay, so that's the homework for you. I'll tell you how to do it next time. Do ask if you have any questions. I think it's a very useful learning experience for people. If someone says, "Look, I don't understand this bit, can you go over it?" It helps a lot of people. So don't be shy about that. If you're happy with it and it's all making sense and I'm pitching at the right level, do let me know. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed that. Bye for now.